Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more 9-Rip, continuing Yukimaro's route. We're actually in it now. Woohoo! Anyway, we're taking him to a cafe, and we're going to find out that being a pastry chef is the dream. I took a seat by the window and ordered 2 of the parfaits Yukimaro had his eye on. The parfaits here were always affordable, but very delicious and beautifully crafted. If I'm going to treat him to something, I want it to be really good. After about 10 minutes, our eagerly awaited parfaits arrived, delighting both Yukimaro and me. Enjoy! The parfait was overflowing with vibrant ruby-red strawberries and generously topped with freshly made whipped cream. It was my favorite dessert, and I was sure Yukimaro would love it too. Seeing the colorful parfait before him, Yukimaro's eyes sparkled as he finally grasped his spoon with trembling hands. What? What you doing? What's the matter with you? You're just getting feathers all over. You know, I cleaned up here. Why you got feathers everywhere? I don't want your feathers. He's like, that's why. I see the vacuum lines on the floor, so I pick out my feathers and I throw them everywhere. Joke's on you. We're going to have to vacuum again before Grandma gets here. Boop. Jerk. Whoa! Look at all these colors. It's incredible. I never imagined I'd get to enjoy something this beautiful. What about me? Are you really that impressed by it? How could I not be impressed by it? I'll remember this day forever. With that declaration of joy, Yukimaro returned to gazing at his parfait. Ah, look at this mountain of cream. It's like a winter wonderland. Oh, I can't contain my excitement. I don't know what to do about it. Yukimaro's over-the-top reaction to the parfait made me chuckle, but I could see his enthusiasm was genuine. There's ice cream inside. It's gonna melt, so why don't we dig in? Let's eat. Yukimaro nodded with gusto and plunged his spoon into the parfait. He meticulously scooped up the whipped cream and savored it with an air of elegance. I mirrored him, taking a spoon for myself. Ah, this is happiness. So good. Oh, it's as though little sweet cream fairies are dancing along inside my mouth. I never thought I'd know such joy. I, a guardian spirit, tasked to bring joy to humanity, sit in awe of you, Mr. Parfait. Is this some kind of food review? His commentary was so enthusiastic he could make a food critic blush. He relished bite after bite, his bliss unmistakable. The couple next to us noticed and began whispering. Concerned we might be causing a disturbance, I tensed as they summoned the server. Excuse me, could we have the same parfait as them? That exact one? I guess watching someone enjoy their meals so much makes you want the same thing. Yukimaro, oblivious to the couple's order, continued savoring his dessert. I found it so amusing that I started laughing. Why are you laughing? Because it's so funny. It's never boring when I'm with you, Yukimaro. I don't get what's happening, but as long as you're happy, that's all that matters. Yukimaro continued to enjoy his parfait, his comments as plentiful as the whipped cream. Feeling a bit embarrassed by his enthusiasm, I hurried to finish my own parfait. I finished paying, and we both stepped outside. Yukimaro looked at me and bowed deeply. Thank you very, very, very much. You're very, very, very welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it so much. Seeing him so happy made me happy too. I couldn't stop the smile forming on my lips. Yukimaro clasped his hand over his chest, his eyes shimmering as he did so. I made the mistake of itching my face, and now you're like, your right hand stays here. And okay. So now I've got the controller in my left hand, because I had to itch my nose, and then the bird took that as you're going to leave your hand on your chest, so he can snug in it. So now my hand is smooshed on my chest, and the bird is smooshed against my hand. You want to snugs? Otherwise, I'm going to move my hand. I kind of want my hand back, but my hand is now stuck here. I couldn't stop the smile forming on my lips. Oh, no. Did I read this? Maybe. Yukimaro clasped his hand over his chest, his eyes shimmering as he did so. Ah, you're amazing, Spacey. I love you so much. Yukimaro tried to hug me, but I dodged just as he rushed closer. Aw, you're tough to catch. Because Yukimaru might not think much of it, but it was different for me. When he got so close, I felt shy, and I couldn't help but get wrapped up in that feeling. And he said he loved me, and he used my name. I realize he probably doesn't know what that means to me, so I shouldn't read too much into it. Yukimaru only said that because I treated him to a parfait. Okay. The way my hand is sitting, it's like, obviously, like, thumb up, pinky down, but my fingers are kind of curled under. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not, like, obviously, like, my hand's cupped, but my fingers are, like, curled under my thumb, like, sticking out. So the bird is, like, smushed against my hand, against my thumb, but every once in a while he keeps putting his foot and, like, holding my finger. It's like, are you holding my hand? Like, why are you so cute? You're so silly. You're a silly boy. You're trying to hold my hands? You're trying to hold hands with me? Yeah? I heard you quack. You think you're a duck. Anyway, things felt strange since last night. I'd become so aware of Yukimaru. I wonder if that means my feelings for Yukimaru are changing. But I can't think of him that way, knowing that someday we'll have to say goodbye. As I mulled over these thoughts, Yukimaru's expression suddenly shifted. Oh, Master, the aura you're emitting. Are you falling for me? Huh? Oh! That's right, he can read my aura! No, you can't! Please, you shouldn't do that! Don't read my aura! And no need to act so tough, Spacey. His smile wasn't innocent. It looked like he had something else to say, and that annoyed me. Ugh, am I the only one feeling stressed and out of place? Don't touch me or call me by my name anymore. Oh, look, he looks sad. When I said that, Yukimaru looked so shocked he nearly stumbled backwards. Why? Why not? You allow it for both Koharu and Toka? No, I haven't told them it's okay either. They just do it on their own. And more to the point, I don't feel anything when they do it. It's because it's you, Yukimaru. I can't handle it. Then I can do as I please, too. Nope, I say no to only you. Only me? I'm gonna touch you and call you by your name. I don't care what you say. Hey, what's all this commotion about? I turned in a panic to see Koharu dressed in his Western clothes. Because Spacey, her! Yukimaru pouted and complained like a child. I hurried to intervene. We hurt his feelings and he's thrown a little temper tantrum and it's so cute. And I feel so bad. But I get, oh, it's nothing. We were just disagreeing about something, that's all. Unlike Yukimaru, who was making a fuss, Koharu seemed uninterested as he turned to me. Yeah? Well, whatever. Hey, Spacey, did you get enough to eat for lunch? Oh, did he just call you Spacey? Did he just use your name? Gosh, Yukimaru, quiet down. Did you just say, quiet down? As for my lunch, Koharu, it wasn't really a meal, but I did eat. What the heck? You better eat a balanced meal or you won't be able to focus. Koharu patted my head as he said that. He's such a mom. Hey, Koharu, you can't touch her like that. What the hell are you talking about? I always do this, don't I, Spacey? Although I didn't want to respond, I nodded yes. That sent Yukimaru into an even deeper frenzy, and he crumpled to the floor. I feel so bad for us torturing this poor thing, but it's kind of funny. This isn't what I wanted. And what's up with this doom and gloom piece of junk? Doom and gloom piece of junk! Our poor fucking labradoodle. Let's head home. I'll make you lunch. Okay, thank you. Hey, Yukimaru, let's head home now. I called out to him, but he merely pouted, looked away, and stood up. Seeing him like that pained my heart. This is all my fault. I knew I had hurt him, but I couldn't compromise on some things. I didn't want him to read my aura, especially when he could see my feelings towards him. And so, without resolving much of anything, we headed home. Upon our return, Koharu began preparing lunch. I offered to help, but he insisted he enjoyed cooking and preferred to do it himself. Koharu's cooking was always delicious, so I was glad he was making lunch, but for some reason I felt guilty about it. I wish I could at least do something to help. I took out the plates and glanced over to find Yukimaro resting on the sofa, or sitting on the sofa, sorry. He stared at the TV, lost in thought. It's like his soul is gone.
Man, he's hopeless. Fine, I'll go with you in the afternoon.
Koharu, having noticed Yukimaro's pathetic state, offered his support. Suddenly, from out of nowhere, Toka appeared.
Me too! I want to help too!
While it was generous of them to offer, I wasn't really in the mood to go out with all of them. Thank you both. I really appreciate that. I glanced at Yukimaro again, but he seemed oblivious to our conversation. Normally, Yukimaro would have jumped in and declared, "That's my role." I sighed loudly and felt kind of lonely. I was the one who started the argument, so it felt wrong to have those kinds of feelings.
No point in holding back. I've been waiting for a chance to help you. Hey, what's up with Yukimaro?
I really didn't want to go with them. Despite my thoughts, I didn't want to dismiss Toka's offer to help either. I explained how Yukimaro was helping me discover what I liked. The two of them suggested we try visiting another location in the afternoon. I felt guilty and couldn't stop thinking about Yukimaro. In the afternoon, we visited various places around town. The sun had set by the time we returned. Toka was summoned away by someone, so he had to leave midway. As I walked beside Koharu, I sighed.
Kinda seemed like your heart wasn't in it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know you came out to help me.
No need to apologize. Your career path is something both Toka and I are also concerned about.
I was deeply grateful for the sentiment. What am I doing? Letting myself get so wrapped up in this personal stuff. I felt so bad I couldn't look him in the eye.
It's because of Yukimaro, right? I don't know what happened, but it's rare to see him so down.
Yukimaro was always smiling and full of energy. I'd never seen him so quiet. Seeing him in a daze like that was unusual. It was a first for me. What should I do? As I thought through all of this, I saw my sister at the crosswalk.
Oh, Spacey, your sister's off work.
Hi, how was your day? You're off early. What's up?
Finally! The new display at work is complete. I've been doing late nights for a while, so I decided to leave early today.
I did notice Sis had been coming home really late these past few weeks.
Oh?
And who's this? Oh, this is Koharu. We recently met.
Oh,
a boy? My sister stared him down, making even Koharu flinch.
Hi.
I love the fact that our sister has that power on the salty spirit board. I'm her sister, Tsubasa. So how did you meet my sister?
Before she gets the wrong idea, I need to find a way to play this off. He showed me around at an open college campus tour.
Is that so? So what are you doing here now?
Well, that's Tsubasa for you. Unlike Sayaka, who casually accepted anything, my sister wanted all the details.
We are having dirty, filthy sex left and right everywhere.
And then she'd run away and you'd be like, that's the only way to get her to stop. Our sister would punch him in the face, probably. I was about to elaborate when Koharu interrupted.
It's about her career path.
Huh? I looked up at Koharu.
I was mentoring her today. She mentioned she was still trying to figure out which school she wants to attend. In all honesty, though, knowing her, I'm sure she'll be able to figure something out.
Koharu... He didn't just play it off or lie. He was serious as he met my sister's gaze. I felt deeply grateful for him.
Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you for mentoring her, and please, I hope you'll continue to do so. I'm glad she has someone like you by her side.
Sis. And then Yukimaro's like,
Someone's by her side.
He doesn't know what's happening, but he can feel the disturbance in the force. They wanted what was best for me. Their sentiments warmed my heart.
Well, I'll be on my way now.
Oh, thank you for today. As I saw Koharu off, my sister looked on, appearing content.
I see. Koharu, was it?
Huh?
Remember when you fought with Mom and ran away? You told me you confided in someone besides Sayaka, remember?
Oh. But honestly, I'm okay now. I found someone to confide in.
Really? I thought you were alone back there. Were you talking to Sayaka?
No, it's someone new I can talk to. I told them a lot and it really helped me calm down. Come to think of it, she's right.
He's the guy, right?
Yes, him and one other person. Yukimaro.
I see. I was curious about who you could have confided in. Glad I was able to meet him. Kohara seems like he's a good guy. I mean, I've only met him once, so it's hard to say for sure. No, he isn't. Wait till you meet fucking Drama Queen.
Yeah, he and the other person are both very dependable. Hearing that, my sister gave a warm smile. I like how she was like, yeah! She's like, no, and one other person, because I don't want you to get the wrong idea about. She's like, because Tsubasa's like, yeah, he seems pretty dependable. Okay, you got a thing for him? No, I have a thing for the beautiful blonde Drama Queen. I don't have to bear everything alone. I have so many people ready to support me. Koharu, Toka, and Yukimaro. Yukimaro, I wonder if he's feeling better now. Probably not, huh? I realized that merely giving him space wouldn't be enough for him to forgive me. It wasn't that simple. When I get home, I need to apologize. I didn't want things to stay awkward between us. I needed to adjust my attitude. I should try not to see him in a romantic way. I have to move, Bert. I'm very sorry. I have an itch. And it's like one of those when you get an itch on your back and you're like, oh God, I need to itch it before I die. Oh, you just gonna, oh, okay. I was going to put my hand back for you. No? Oh, okay. He just sat in the same spot as I moved my hand and was like, what the fuck? And then just moved, but now I put my hand back and now you're okay. It would be tough, but I figured it'd be okay since my feelings for him were so new. Whether my feelings for him were romantic or not, I couldn't tell. I felt like I might have been starting to fall for him. What's so wrong with a little secret crush? It's not so secret when it's around Yukimaro, because he can read your aura. With that, I returned home with my sister. You want patties? Okay. It's very hard for me to pet you with my middle finger. Since Mom came home early that day, we all got to enjoy a meal together. After getting home, I was concerned about Yukimaro and looked for him, but he was nowhere to be found. I wonder where he went. I was anxious something might have happened. After dinner, I decided to search for Yukimaro outside.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention earlier. I want you to come by and check out my display. Might be a nice distraction. What do you think, Mom?
Oh, the last time this topic came up, Hey, Tsubasa, don't bother Spacey with that right now. Back then, she'd scolded my sister and looked so angry. I fearfully stole a glance at Mom, but instead of being mad, she offered us a sad smile. Yes, that sounds like a good idea. It's not too good to stress too much, right? A pang of guilt hit my heart. But according to both Toka and Yukimaro, Mom is...
Your mother's expression last night and just now, they're not what they seem. Appearances don't tell the whole story. Remember what she said. She wants you to find your own way. And don't overthink it. Sometimes you need to take things at face value.
What's really going through Mom's mind? Is she sad? Is she not? She seems a little sad, but I need to figure this out. I mean, she's definitely sad. She's trying to force one of us to be like our father because she misses him so much. She's definitely sad still, but... Hey, Mom, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. I decided to press on even though I was nervous. It's about my career path. Are you really okay with me deciding for myself? Mom's expression turned sorrowful as she pondered, searching for the right words. I want you to freely make your own decisions. You might not believe me, but that's truly all I want for you. I took away your chance to think for yourself. I stole that precious time from you. I manipulated you. Mom. She sighed deeply, seemingly coming to a decision, and then turned to look at both me and my sister. You see, your father was quite upset with me. I know you won't believe me if I told you, but he appeared to me in a dream.
Huh? What do you mean? He came to visit you?
Seeing my mother nod, both my sister and I were at a loss for words. I mean, we really can't say that our mom did not have a dream of our dead dad, so. Before, I wouldn't have believed her, but now, yeah, okay. Given everything I've seen, I totally believe her. After all, I too had interacted with spirits and gods. Easy told me, let the girl do what she likes. Which one of our fucking... Was it Manami? Which one of these assholes was popping in our mom's dream pretending to be our dad? Dad. Hearing her say this, I said a silent prayer. Thank you, Dad. You really are watching over me, aren't you? I don't necessarily know if I believe it was our dad. Are we supposed to believe it's our dad, or be like it's one of these spirits or fucking Manami being like, let her do what she wants? I don't believe in those kinds of things. Ghosts, poker guy? I can't with the words. Wow. Ghosts and poltergeists wanted to come out together. Ghosts, poltergeists, all that stuff, but I believe you, Mom. She said that with a big smile. Me too. I believe you too. Mom seemed relieved to hear us say that, offering us a small smile in return. I realized it must have taken her a bit of courage to share that with us. Spacey, and you too, Tsubasa. I'm sure it was tough for you guys to deal with me. I'm truly sorry. Her smile was melancholic, and I suddenly felt like I understood everything. Mom looked sad because she felt guilty. Well, you say that, but it's a little too late. I've already chosen my own path, you know? That came out weird, but trying to lighten the mood, my sister spoke with her usual cheerful smile, making us all laugh. Now it's your turn. Seems like you've been confiding in someone today, too. That Koharu guy from earlier. Oh, right, but it's not just Koharu. Huh? I thought you were talking to a boy named Yukimaro. Yeah, both of them are helping me. Yukimaro. I haven't met him yet. Have you, Mom? Yes, I have. Yukimaro's done quite a lot to help Spacey. Oh, really? Seemed like Koharu's done a lot, too. Listen! I'm just gonna have my man harem, don't be jealous. By the way, Koharu's pretty hot, isn't he? He seems so masculine and very patient. What? Why were you checking him out? Well, duh, if there's a guy hanging around my little sister, I want to know about him. Who knows? You guys might end up dating. Not in this route. That will never happen with Koharu. Koharu's in the bed like, huh? Koharu's actually like, yeah, because you're kind of a pain in my ass. But in his route, we will. Oh, gosh, Tsubasa. He's just someone that's mentoring her. It doesn't matter whether he's handsome or not. At least Mom gets it. Mom's gonna mention how fucking Yukimaro's hot. Well, I say that, but I'm also curious about who you're friends with. Introduce me to him sometime. Mom! Just when I finished yelling. Seriously? Everyone just loves Koharu, don't they? How do you ignore this dramatic spirit in your house? When you hear that wailing outside and you're like, is that wind? No, it's Yukimaro. Huh? When did Yukimaro get back? Yukimaro in his spirit form screamed out loud and then ran out of the living room. Seriously? He just came home too. Oh, poor thing. Everyone just loves Koharu. I love his drama. He's so adorable. He's such a pain in the ass. There is no fucking way you'd be like, he's too dramatic, but I love it. I told Mom and Sis I needed to make an important phone call and ran out of the house. Yukimaro had already managed to run ahead, yet somehow I managed to keep up. I nearly lost sight of him multiple times, but I desperately continued on. Eventually, I caught up to him. Yukimaro was sitting on the stairs, and he let out a long sigh. Yukimaro? I called out to him, making him jump, but he didn't look my way. Feeling a pang in my heart, I silently sat down next to him. You're still mad at me, huh? I am not mad. I don't understand you, Master. Plus, I'm just confused. This is all my fault. Don't you want to hold him and pet him? Tell him it's gonna be okay? Stop it. Knowing I was the source of his confusion, I realized I needed to explain things to him. But I hesitated, wondering if I should be honest. No, I have to tell him or he won't understand. I made up my mind to tell him the truth. Whenever you call me by my name, it stirs something in my heart. I mean, you usually call me Master. Yukimaro's head tilted curiously, and I shyly met his gaze.
Which one do you prefer? Master or Spacey?
Which do I prefer? I hadn't given it much thought. Master would keep things between us the same. Yet being called by my name made me flustered. It was a peculiar feeling, unsettling yet sweet. But even so, I replied, albeit softly, maybe I think I'd like it if you called me by my name. This is so embarrassing. Unable to meet Yukimaro's eyes, I looked down. Acknowledging that only made me realize just how much I cared about him. How's he going to take this? Finally, I dared to look up at him. He looks so sad. Why does he look a little perplexed and saucer-eyed at me? His cheeks seem to be a little pink. Oh, 'cause he's got his little blush face on. It's so funny because, like, when they say that, it's like the blush is so barely noticeable up by the corners of their eyes. Like, you're like, oh yeah, no, they are blushing. It's so vague. It's, like, so faint sometimes. I immediately looked away, my heartbeat thundering in my ears. I just decided I'd try to keep this from him. If I look at him now, I'd get my hopes up. Kiss.
In that case, then I'll call you Spacey.
Yukimaro smiled, appearing bashful. Seeing his smile made my heart tighten. I noticed him reach out his hand toward me, and he gently patted my head, stroking my hair. It was such a simple gesture, yet I reacted strongly, my shoulders jolting. I can only imagine how red my face was.
It's okay for me to touch you like this, right? I'm not gonna get in trouble, am I?
It was the first time he'd ever asked. The first time he'd ever considered my feelings like that. It showed me how much he cared for me. That alone made my heart beat faster. I timidly nodded, and Yukimaro's face relaxed, looking relieved.
Every time I get to touch you, I feel like it warms my heart. Warm like sunshine. Perhaps it's because of the kind of aura you're wrapped up in.
He met my gaze directly, his eyes filled with kindness. I feel surprised. Feel surprised, not uneasy. Why would you feel uneasy? That feels like a bad choice. No, feel uneasy. Okay. All right. I guess it's like uneasy, more like, oh my God, like I'm a little embarrassed and awkward and shy. Uneasy as opposed, like, uneasy to me is like, yeah, I don't know about that. Like, I feel a little uneasy is like, I feel uneasy when you're looking at me because you're a creep. Not like, oh, I'm a little awkward and, you know? Okay. All right. I feel uneasy about it. I just can't help getting nervous around you, Yukimaro. I mean that, like, okay, so the nervous, but the unease always has a negative connotation to me. But, like, maybe that's not really what they meant. Or awkward translation, you know? Opening up about my feeling. Whoopsie, sorry, I was trying to move my remote. And again, right hand is taken up by Bird. I was trying to adjust my remote in my left hand and I hit my Joy-Con. Opening up about my feelings caused Yukimaro's hand to freeze.
Is that in a good way?
Well, I racked my brains, searching for the right words, but in the end I could only find the truth. I guess I think I'm starting to have feelings for you. I like how we just jumped right fucking into this romance. Yukimaro seemed caught off guard by my admission. His expression shifted from surprise to a troubled smile. Although now I'm wondering, though, because, like, the common route was, like, a chapter shorter, although I feel like time-wise it was the same. Maybe I rambled more. But then are these chapters going to be, like, are these routes going to be shorter? Hold on. No, he's got 8 chapters. Only 2 save files, though. So, yeah. 5, 6, 7. It's 4 chapters because the other ones would have been 6, 7, 8, and 9. So there's still 4 chapters. So it just feels like we're jumping into kind of like the romance a little bit faster here. But mean, I'm not begrudging it. I'm here for it. Anyway.
I see. And that makes two of us then.
What? Does that mean he feels the same way? Yukimaru didn't seem to mind me being lost in thought as he moved to sit one step above me. Oh! Yay, CG! Oh, look at how adorable it is! Look, she's just like chill happy. She's like, yeah, this is cool. And he's so overjoyed. It's so adorable. Oh. They do this a lot on all the CGs, and I've noticed, and I don't think I've really ever said it. I might have mentioned it in some of the other ones, the division of light. Like, there's always like, and one side is a little more red and the other side's more blue, and in this one you've got the bright golden light up top and the little blue suns. Like, they do this with, and you can usually tell in the backgrounds, they do a very much like a division of light on some type of angle in the backgrounds and on the CGs. Like, even him, he's more goldeny, and then it fades off into the right corner being a little bit more blue tinted. Like, it's kind of like, I think it's kind of interesting that they do this. Like, that's what they're doing with the CGs. It's like, it's kind of neat. But anyway, it's so adorable. Look at his precious little face. Being gently hugged from behind, my heart raced. His arms easily wrapped around me, heightening my awareness of him as a man. I felt so overwhelmed I thought I might faint, but I couldn't bring myself to push him away. Yukimaru, you're laughing too much. While I was tense, Yukimaru laughed joyfully. That eased my anxiety.
I'm so happy I can't contain it, being like this with you after feeling separated for what seemed like an eternity.
You're exaggerating. Though I dismissed him, I shared his feelings. His absence made me uneasy and lonely, which was why this moment brought me so much joy. His presence was always uplifting, and I loved how honest he was about his feelings with me. Maybe I really do like Yukimaru.
Would you prefer I hide my feelings more? Like Koharu does?
Huh? Koharu?
And not just you, but your sister and mother seem to like Koharu a great deal. I can't allow myself to lose to him.
I guess what he heard in the living room before really bothered him. You don't have to worry about Koharu at all. It's hard to explain. But because it's you, my feelings, I get all mixed up. While Koharu was important to me as someone who supported me, the feeling was different. I'm just not good at explaining this. I wish I could better express to Yukimaru how I feel about him. Kiss. As I was struggling to find the right words, Yukimaru started laughing.
I see. Your heart feels all these emotions about me. That's why it's so difficult.
Can you not say it like that? Please stop.
You're so selfish. But I'm glad you're expressing yourself. From now on, don't hide your feelings from me. No matter what your emotions or feelings are, I will accept them.
Yukimaru,
I don't want things to be like they were earlier today ever again. I want things to be like this.
I feel the same way. I know we're going to part ways someday. That's why I hesitated to express myself. At least that's how I felt before. I wanted to accept Yukimaru's offer.
Spacey, will you promise me something? I want you to always be honest with me.
As I heard his request, my wavering feelings began to solidify. I promise. Yukimaru's grip tightened and he pulled me in even closer. I didn't know how much longer we'd have together, but at least we had these moments. We continued our embrace, confirming our feelings for each other under the starry night sky. He's my guardian spirit until I'm happy. But I'm not going to be, but as soon as you go to leave me, I'm not going to be happy anymore, so you have to stay with me until I die. There you go. Now, we're going to have an ending where he becomes human again? Right? Maybe? Because, I mean, they can turn into human form, so I feel like good enough. And then maybe we get an ending where he just stays as my guardian spirit for fucking forever. But the nice thing is, we can touch him. Because you know what I mean? In all the other ones, the only reason we could touch Hibiki and Kureha was because we were in the other realm, and then we went back to the mortal realm, and then we couldn't ever touch them. Hibiki was different. We could pop into the mirror, and then we could touch him in the mirror realm. But, like,
with Kureha, it was like, I can see him and talk to him, but I can't touch him. Same with Seiya, when he popped back up, we couldn't touch him. So, like, this, like, whatevs. We get our spirit boyfriend, we can still touch them. You know what I mean? So, like, I feel like both endings are going to be pretty decent, you know? It's kind of like Koyo got the best fucking endings because we were, like, together in both of them. Like, you know. Like, when we got our I get to come back to life ending, which everybody would think would be the better one. You know. You get to, you know, be with him and touch him, and the other ones you get to come back to life and you get to see your boyfriend and maybe talk to him, but you don't ever get to touch him, and that's kind of a disappointment. You know? Manami could haunt your dreams, so good enough. You could touch him and see him in your dreams. Seiya, you were married to, but, like, you could never touch him. That's disappointing. Seina, you could touch once a year. You know? So I'm just saying. And also, yes, there is a fucking sequel or fan disc or whatever that they're making. So, like, hell yeah. Like, all of a sudden it's been everywhere. I mean, okay, this is not now a month ago, whatever, but it's been all over Reddit now, and it's like, yes! I mean, that's not that it's been it hasn't, they haven't said it's going to be localized yet, but come on. I'm just saying, I feel like with how fast this one got picked up as soon as it was released for localization, that the fan disc, it's going to be like Verche with like, hey, here's this game, and you're like, everyone's like, ooh, and we're going to localize it, woohoo! And they're like, and there's the fan disc, and we localized it the same damn day, and you're like, shit! I feel like we're going to get a localization announcement. Like, and I would feel like, because I'm not sure when it's supposed to release in Japan, so like, I think it's still in production right now? I don't know, I just know, like, they gave you information about the stories, and I was like, well, I don't read too much because I don't want to ruin the ones that I haven't played yet. But I read Seiya's because I was like, I finished that run, I'm going to read it, and it basically sounds like it continues off from the Heavenly Route? Well, the one that we basically are dead and we work at the HO. So it continues off from that one. So I'm going to guess it's continuing off from all the routes where we died and get to be with our boyfriend, so, which makes more sense. You know what I mean? Because, like, we get to be with them, so that's what we want in a fan disc, is the fluff where we can touch them and kiss them and shit. Not like, oh, Kureha, it's nice to see you. Oh, my hand went right through him. You can just imagine. No, we don't want that fucking shit. I want to be able to pet him and touch him and hold him and tell him he's a good boy, you know? Same with Yukimaru. We're going to need that. But we can do that with him and Koharu apparently anytime. But, you know what I mean? Anyway, I really hope that, like, it's one of those that get picked, as soon as it gets released, it's one of those that's going to be a month or two later when we get the localization. Like, I can't imagine not. Like, this is not the day when we got Amnesia and it took 32 fucking years to get the fan discs and sequels. These ones seem to be rolling out a lot faster, you know? Which is good. Good. Anyway, they continued our embrace, confirming our feelings for each other under the starry night sky. Next chapter? No, his perspective. Okay. His little toes. On our way home, I hoped for some privacy with her, but Spacey's mother was concerned and called, so we had no choice but to head back. Walking toward her house, I glanced at Spacey's hand. Oh, I want to hold it. I began to fidget, feeling an overwhelming urge to take her hand. But I hesitated, knowing Spacey might scold me if I was too forward with her. I didn't want a repeat of the earlier experience. The thought of being separated from her again filled me with dread. It was a loneliness so profound it felt like a gaping hole in my heart. Before, I didn't think twice before touching Spacey. Now, with my feelings changing, it was complicated. Love, such a peculiar thing. The most baffling and heart-wrenching of all phenomena to exist in the world. Ugh, my heart's aching. I murmured as Spacey stopped, worried. What's wrong? Are you okay? He's definitely not okay. Oh, Spacey's concerned about me. How adorable is that? I craved her caring gaze even more. I'd feel better if we held hands. Spacey? I was saying blushed as I was trying to read my name. Spacey blushed, her eyes shifting away. Maybe that was too forward. Her hand grasped mine tightly. My spirits lifted to the heavens. Like
Like this? Her touch warmed my heart instantly. Yes, I feel much better now. We both laughed, sharing a moment of joy. Ugh, this warmth and this comfort. If only it could last forever. I found myself wishing to stay in this gentle light forever.
Aww. How precious is our Labradoodle? And there we go, new chapter. Okay.
Ching!
We returned back home. I sat back down at the dining table and reflected on my conversation with Yukimaro. I'm glad we made up. I reminisced about our time at the beach. Felt a little embarrassed, but more than anything, I felt happy. Opening up to him had brought me joy. But can I really continue to be honest with him? I felt shy and wondered if I really would be able to stay honest with him. You better don't, because you always be honest with me. Don't make that a fucking point of contention in this. I wonder where Yukimaro went. Before we arrived home, Yukimaro mentioned he had something to do and ran off somewhere. He's gonna buy us a gift. I'm sure he'll be back soon. I'll take a bath after I finish eating. After my bath, I went back to my room and began preparing for school the next day. Then I heard a knock at my door. One sec! I opened the door and saw Yukimaro there. I smiled brightly.
Spacey, may I have a moment?
Yukimaro looked troubled, causing my smile to tighten. Yeah, of course. Come in. I let Yukimaro into my room and waited for him to speak.
You see, after reflecting on today, something stood out to me.
Yukimaro paused, gathering his courage before continuing.
Because of everything that happened, I couldn't mention this to you before. When you talked about desserts earlier, you had a really positive aura, Spacey.
Oh, I was like, what can you mention? What the fuck? Now is not the time when we've committed our love to each other, basically. And he was like, I couldn't tell you before, but you should become a pastry chef. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, dude, don't scare me like this. A positive aura? I tilted my head, puzzled. He did say he was going to watch my aura to find out what interests me. It's true, I love desserts, and they make me really happy, but especially the parfaits at that cafe. Makes sense that I would have a good aura then. Do you think desserts might have something to do with what I should do?
I do. It was the first time I saw you admit such a happy aura.
I see. If Yukimaro feels so strongly about it, maybe I should trust him.
It made me wonder, Spacey, maybe you're...
Yukimaro looked so earnest that I tensed, waiting.
Maybe you should be a competitive eater.
Idiot! Oh, he's so stupid, I love him. Excuse me? Is he joking? His expression looks so serious, though.
You know, like those competitions on TV where people eat a lot.
He is so adorable, and he can be so wise, but he can also be just the biggest fucking dumbass. Is he our himbo? I mean, I know I'm pretty sure people would say Kureha's a himbo, but I really don't think Kureha's an idiot. He's just quiet and socially awkward. You know? He's just a quiet, awkward cinnamon bun. Okay? And Sena is just flighty pretty boy. And Yukimaro really is kind of more the idiot. He might be the biggest dumbass out of everybody. I'm doing, yeah. No. I would feel if all of them, it would be him. Because you're so pretty, but you're kind of stupid. But you're also the Labradoodle. But then again, I mean, the himbos sometimes have moments where they're like, no, so they can be really wise when it comes to shit. And they have usually one brain, you're you are a genius when it comes to this one thing, and then the rest of you's motherfucking dumb. But see, he's he's got his wise moments, and he's not wrong, and he cares about and everything, but then he says things like this, and it's that is, God, nope, you're kind of an idiot. Yeah, I think you've got the most himbo energy. You're a Labra himbo. Yeah. A himbo doodle? A himbo doodle? A labra himbo? Or a himbo doodle? Himbo doodle is more fun to say. Anyway. Or a labradoodle himbo. I don't know. Figure it out. I'm still going to call him a labradoodle, but he's a little bit of a himbo, I think. Anyway. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I don't see myself doing that. I mean, I like sweets as much as the next person, but it's not like I could eat that much. There's no way I'm becoming a competitive eater. Was I wrong? Yukimaru seemed disappointed. I don't really love that he picked that career for me, but suddenly all my tension dissipated. I appreciate Yukimaru thinking about my future so seriously. But come on, a competitive eater? The idea grew funnier the more I thought about it. I was struggling to hold back laughter when Koharu and Toka suddenly showed up. Competitive eater? Seriously? Here's me giggling on my bed. Look at the look on Toka's face! There's something so funny about that look about her just like, I am so fucking disappointed in this himbo. Oh my fucking god, that is hilarious. Now I think we know why you're still in training, Yukimaru. That's way off. And why jump to that conclusion just because she likes desserts? And normally wouldn't you go with something like pastry chef? A pastry chef?
I seriously consider everything.
Yukimaru pouted, visibly upset, but Koharu remained unfazed by his reaction. I thought of everything. He's so stupid. He's so cute but stupid. Like, he's not really stupid, but he's stupid. You know what I mean? He's like stupid with two O's. Stupid. Like, you know? Pastry chef. I do love sweets. They're my little moment of peace. Whenever I'm sitting down with a nice little dessert, I feel so at ease. Again, I kind of feel like the pastry chef thing would have made a little more sense coming out of fucking nowhere if she, like, randomly made dessert. Not if she was, like, obsessed with making desserts, because then it would have been too obvious. But if she was, like, you know, like, they're like, oh, did you make these? Yeah, every once in a while I just make cookies, or, like, I tried making these little tarts one time, and it was, like, fun. You know what I mean? Like, where she'd ever made fucking desserts before, because, I mean, I love fucking cake and cookies like the next person, but I can't become a motherfucking pastry chef. I ain't got that kind of skill. Do you need a break? You're getting very fucking fidgety. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I feel like the pastry chef thing, I know we said it before, comes out of fucking nowhere. Hold on, buddy. I got my cords all wrapped up in my blankies. I got cords wrapped up in our blankie. Guys, it's cold up here. Come here. Don't sit weird like that. You can always fly over here on your own, you know. You know? She's a good boy. Who's a good boy? Yeah, excuse me. You don't go back on the shoulder. You gotta give kisses first. Not to the people. It's rude. You weren't even gonna give me kisses. You were looking at the microphone. You were gonna bite it. Isn't it nice? You don't bite people's ears. It would have been very rude for the poor people listening, having to hear you make the scratchy noises on the microphone. We make enough trouble for them. Anyway. But anyway, yeah, so. It could have come. Again, like, if they did it like, oh my god, I love cooking, but it would have been, like, too obvious. So, but I just feel like more than liking desserts, you would have to have some kind of inclination to cook. You know? Like, or, oh yeah, I've made desserts, but we're in passing, they kind of mentioned it once before or something, so when it comes out, it doesn't feel like, kind of came out of nowhere and you just shove that in, but like, okay. Again, I love eating cookies. Doesn't mean I can bake. I mean, I can bake just fine, but I couldn't become a pastry chef. You know what I mean? I'm nowhere near that skill. Like, most of us can, like, whip up some cookies from a recipe, you know? But why mention this now? You've seen her enjoy sweets so many times before. That's a good point.
I wondered that as well. I thought maybe there was something special about that cafe, so I went back and visited it again.
So that's where he ran off to. I was so happy when I realized he had gone all the way back to the cafe for me.
Cafe? The one Spacey's been going to since she was a kid.
Exactly. How did you know?
Well, obviously, because I'm your stalker, right? You were gonna say stalker, yeah? I won't lose to you. I will stalk her harder than any stalker stalked before. I will stalk her harder than any stalker stalked before.
I fucking love how defensive he's getting. It's so cute. Please don't.
That cafe holds a special place in her heart. And that's probably why her aura changed.
That's actually a pretty good point. We all used to go there as a family.
Will you share that memory with us? Can you tell us more about what that cafe means to you?
Sure, I don't mind. I let out a little sigh and then opened up to everyone. I have memories of my whole family at that cafe. Back when my dad was still alive, sometimes just the two of us would go for a walk there. He'd let me order whatever I wanted for dessert. The usual parfait for me.
Oh, the usual parfait for me, but what about you, Spacey?
I'll take some of yours, so I'll get the juice.
You're gonna eat most of it again, aren't you?
I loved when Dad fed me as I sat next to him, so I always used that excuse.
Well, as long as I can see your happy little face, Spacey, that's all I need.
My time with my dad was short, which made that place all the more special to me. I guess it was the same with that parfait, too. After Dad was hospitalized, Mom often took us to that cafe after we visited him in the hospital. Visited him, and visited, and then any other word after it is just so fucking like my brain just wants to mumble it all. I don't know what's wrong. Even as a kid, I sensed Dad's health slowly fading. On our way home, I'd often become sad and withdrawn. Whenever my mom saw my sister and I liked that, she'd always say, "Let's go eat something sweet," and take us to the cafe. Okay, so, the one I get is the one my dad used to get. Oh, fuck. You sure do love the parfaits here, don't you, Spacey? You always get the same thing. Well, it makes me happy. I feel like Dad's here with me. That parfait made me feel close to him. Oh, I feel like Dad's here. I don't know if she's supposed to be saying this out loud or not, but anyway, that parfait made me feel close to him. Maybe that's why it became so special to me. Maybe I should do the same then. Oh, me too! After Dad was hospitalized, Mom always seemed sad. So did my sister. The only time we all smiled was at that cafe. The little happiness we found there meant everything to me. You are just so goddamn lucky I did not bawl through that whole thing. Because the second it was like, oh, the memories with my dad and I used to go there, and it was like, this is, again, I mean, I'm recording this all before Christmas. This is before Christmas, and I'm gonna cry because, like, my dad died. My dad's been gone for like 7 years, but it still fucking hurts, okay? But now that it's coming up on Christmas time, it's like, that just... I think about the last Christmas Eve we spent, like the last Christmas with my dad, but... So, I mean, we stopped doing it at some point because, like, everybody moved out and stuff, but every year when we were kids, Christmas Eve was, you get up at the ass crack of fucking dawn, you get in the goddamn car and you go to the mall, with my dad and my sister, so it'd be like the four of us, and we go to the mall, and that's where we shop for my mom. My dad had a list, this is my mom's, whatever, and then the last stop was the jewelry store, and my dad always picked out like a piece of jewelry for my mom. Like, okay, one year he got her the necklace, and the next year be the bracelet and the ring and whatever, until she had a full set, and then after that, like, but it'd be like, okay, she wants this and this and this on her list, so we'd go around and just buy everything, and we'd be in and out and done before lunch, and then my dad would take us all to lunch. You know what I mean? And then we go home and then, wrap all the gifts and stuff. And then even as my sisters got older and moved out, we would still go. Like when my eldest sister moved out, it was me and my middle sister. And then we'd go. And then it was just me and my dad. And me and my dad would just go, And then obviously we stopped once, like, I wasn't living at home anymore. But it was one of those things when we knew, like, my dad's last Christmas, we were like, this is his last Christmas. Like, we don't think, like, we knew he wasn't gonna make it to the next year. You just... No, his heart was failing. So it was one of those like, all right, well, we are going to get in the damn car. We were made sure everyone was going to be up because everyone was living in different states and whatever. Everyone was going to be in Massachusetts because that's where my parents lived at the time. And it was like, we were all getting in the damn car. We had a walker for my dad because like he was hard for him to get around. And it was like, we're going to go to the freaking mall, just buy a couple of things, like whatever, and then go to lunch, and we're gonna do that one last time. And like I can picture
that, and we went to like Buffalo Wild Wings, I think, or whatever, and we had like the server take a picture of all of us because it was like, and then every once in a while my sister will post that as like her Facebook banner and stuff, and it's like, will you fucking stop, because you can't just put that up. You can't put these things up without making me cry. Like, if you've never lost a parent, when you do, it never fucking goes away. But like, just reading that was one of those like, I'm gonna fucking lose my shit because I'm just equating all of this with like the going shopping on Christmas Eve with my dad. And we also always got ourselves a gag gift. Always. So we'd get something for ourselves that our mom would never get for us. You know what I mean? And it's so funny because my mom always wrapped all the gifts, whatever. And my mom knew. Doesn't matter how many gifts you got. That freaking woman knew every single fucking box and every gift, every single fucking thing. I don't know how. If I wrap a gift tomorrow, I'll be like, what the fuck was in that? I don't even remember whose gift is whose. Okay? But my mom would remember every single thing she wrapped in every single package, even if it was all the same damn size and the same wrapping paper. I don't know how the fuck she knew, but she did. So it'd be so funny because every year, this woman, we were doing this for a long time, but would sit there and look when we'd all get our, oh, okay, here's a gift for you. And we'd hand them out. So it would be all of our gag gifts, including my dad. My dad would get himself one. And we'd go, oh, okay, oh, it's from mom. Okay. And my mom would be looking at it like, what the hell? Like, she's trying to figure out what's in these bottles. Like, she couldn't remember. Every year, the woman did this every freaking year. It'd be looking like, what's in there? Like, I can't remember what that one is. And then we'd open it up and she'd be like, oh, God, like, because it's our gag gift things. You know what I mean? Every year. The last year we didn't get gag gifts. We made our dad buy us jewelry. We did actually. We went into like, I forget what jewelry store. We made our dad, like, my sister got like an emerald ring. My other sister, I think, got a necklace or something like that. And I got like a pearl ring that's like sterling silver. Unfortunately, I have never had it sized. So it does not fit and I have never been able to wear it. And it's really disappointing, but like, and I remember buying it and my dad was like, oh, let me see what you guys all got, whatever. And he got my mom like the ring that's like the forever ring. It's like the now and forever. And it's like the two. Don't even. My dad was talking about that. My dad was not a crier. Okay. But when we were driving to the mall and he's like, I'm going to get your mom this ring, crying. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, my dad is going to fucking cry. You cannot do this with your emotional children. Two of us who are emotional. The other one's a fucking robot. And you're going to do this and we're going to lose our shit. Okay, I'm decent at holding it together. Decent at holding it together. My other sister would have been a fucking mess. And then the other one has no fucking feelings whatsoever. She's like a fucking robot. But when my dad started to almost cry, I was like, oh, Jesus. Oh, God. And that's where it hits you. You're like, oh, stop it. Stop it. Don't even. Oh, my God. Yeah, so. But I do remember, too, when my dad, like, looked at the ring, because he was like, look, and he saw, my ring that I picked out, and he started to get a little emotional about the ring because it reminded him of his mother, because her favorite was pearls, and I was like, you know what, that I'm glad I picked it out now, and I'm like, but, God damn it, Dad, don't cry, like, you know, oh. The only thing I'll regret from that Christmas is when he wrote our names. I'm like, you have to write our names on the tags for the gifts. He wrote our real names instead of the nicknames he always called us when we were kids. And I was like, no, you're supposed to write the fucking nicknames, Dad. You know what I mean? I'm not supposed to write my real name. What the hell is that bullshit? You know what I mean? Suppose I'll put your real names. And it's like, no! I should have been like, no! Write our nicknames, crazy old man. What the fuck? You know, but anyway, that was a nice long story. It's like, 'tis the Christmas season to share all these sob stories. It's now mid-January for you, though. But still only mid-December for me, so whatever. Listen. Oh, God. Anyway, after I shared my story, there you go, Yukimaro took my hand. I need a guardian spirit that's a gorgeous labradoodle himbo to hold my hand.
Thank you for bringing me to such a special place. It means a lot to me.
Aww. I just wanted to see you smile too, Yukimaro.
Aw, I wish I could have gone too.
Shut up, I don't love you that much. Poor Toka. Aww. Then let's all go together next time. You'll come too, right, Kaharu? I'm sure I'm like that. Oh, look at him. He's like, it means so much to you. I'm not going to be a salty bastard. I'm going to recognize. Oh, how adorable are you?
Great! I'm looking forward to it.
We haven't even gone to the cafe yet, and already they're all smiles. Oh, I was like, we're going to turn to Yukimaro, and he's going to be like glaring death stares to them. No, he's happy.
Hey, why not consider working there?
What? As like a part-time job?
Yeah, it might spark your interest.
You say that, but I can't really picture what I'd be interested in. I haven't made anything sweet since I baked cookies for Sayaka in junior high. See, she's only baked cookies like once. It'd be one thing if she like, I made cookies for Sayaka in junior high, and like every once in a while I'd bake her cookies or treats on her birthday. Like, whatever, but I never really thought about it as a career, let alone a hobby, but I was always good at it. You know what I mean? Or like, yeah, my family would always be like, oh, they love the little treats I make once in a blue moon, once every few months. But you just figure it's your family. No, these are really good. And you're like, yeah, I mean, I just open the package and break them off and throw them in the oven like the break and bake cookies. I don't even have to fucking scoop dough, let alone mix it. I don't even have to take the tube of sugar cookie and slice them and cook them. No, I just break them off alone and just, they're pre-shaped and I just, that's literally the level of cookie I'm at. I mean, I'll bake them if I had like a box or whatever, but that takes too long. So like the break and bake ones are just so much fucking easier right now. It's the holidays. I'll eat as many cookies as I want. Don't judge me. Anyway. And I've never worked part-time before.
Since you're unsure, why not just try it out? Life's all about taking on new challenges.
His encouraging words nudged me forward. The idea of working part-time was daunting, but that was no reason not to try. And besides, there was that one time I visited the cafe alone and the owner suggested the same thing to me. Hey, that reminds me, how would you feel about a job here? Part-time, I mean. It'd sure be a big help. You already know the store and menu really well. I couldn't imagine working back then, so I turned him down, but now... You see, the owner of that cafe once asked me if I'd like to work there part-time.
Oh, that's perfect then!
Just because he offered me a job there once doesn't mean they're still hiring. Jesus. He offered me because I was there all the time. I know why. Exactly. If the chance is there, it's not a bad idea to dive in.
Yeah. Plus, if he's already invited you, you're pretty much a guaranteed hire.
I'll talk to my mom about it then. It's school policy to get a guardian's approval before starting part-time work. Koharu, Toka, and Yukimaro smiled when I shared my decision with them. Their support bolstered my confidence, but it's funny because she's like, I don't know about working part-time until I figure out what I want to do, but yet I like how in the back of her mind, pastry chef is still bouncing back there, because like, when Koharu said it, she was like, pastry chef. And then conversation, like, pastry chef. And now she's totally distracted with other things that she's not even like, but it's there, it's now eating away.
Best to strike while the iron is hot. Your mom's probably still up.
You're right, I'll go speak with her now. Leaving them in my room, I made my way to the living room. And we'll talk to our mom in the next part. We probably could have had a little bit more time and talked to our mom, but like, I had to tell you my nice Christmas story. Aren't you glad? You get to little... Too bad! Come on, it was a nice, touching story. It's not like it was traumatic or anything. Right, Bird? Right?
Grandpa used to always try to poke your belly.
You'd always try to bite him, and he just wanted you to snuggle with him.
But it's because he would come at you finger first. Ah! And you'd be like, ah!
And Bird is definitely... Neelix is very much the... Wait till he comes to you. If you try to go up to him, he's like, get away from me! He's like a cat in that sense. And then the second you walk away and sit down, he's like, boop, all over you like, sup, hey. Hey, bestie. Also, do you have food? Can I ask? Do you drinking something? I drink too. Especially if it's dairy and or alcohol, two things he's not supposed to have. But he loves them. He's very attracted by it. He's like, I can't have this. Let me eat it. Oh, yeah. So Grandpa just wanted you to snuggle with him, but he would always try to come to you, and then you would be like, no, that man tries to poke me in the belly. Except for that one time he was napping on the couch, and then you were snugging with him, and it was pretty fucking cute. It's like, see, that's all he wanted. You were like, oh, look, big thing to snug on. All the bird wants to do is snuggle. It's seriously. Everybody hates you, though, because your toenails are awful. They hate your toenails. They don't want to snuggle with you because your toenails. They're like, oh, God, Bert's toenails. You should let me trim them. You're going to go see your best friend. You bet your uncle. He's your favorite person. You love him so fucking much when he's around. You're like, oh, he's my best friend. I got to have man times. Yeah. But he's not going to want you sneaking around him because your toenails are sharp and he doesn't share food. Uncle doesn't share food. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.